Hey team, I want to talk to you guys about self-improvement, and that's a cornerstone of your success in this business. Understand that the value that you bring is going to dictate the income that you make. And so you've got to self-improve. You've got to take every opportunity to self-improve. You know, for years, there's been books next to our nightstands all the time. We're reading and getting better. You know, for years, I've been listening to audios, anything as far as self-improvement that I can think of. I would subscribe to it. I would listen to it. I would try to learn from it. I would look at leaders and say, what are they doing? And I'd get their audios and I'd start listening to it and just always self-improving. And you have to self-improve. If you have a quest, if you have a goal to become wealthy, you've got to be before you become wealthy, you got to be that wealthy person. And so you have to start acting. They say you give a broke person $1 million, pretty soon they're going to be broke again. But you take away $1 million from a millionaire, pretty soon they're going to be a millionaire again. And so why? Because the millionaire thinks like a millionaire. The broke person thinks like a broke person. And so you've got to self-improve. You've got to always be getting better. And so where would I start? If I was starting over and I needed to start self-improving, what would I do? Number one, I'd turn off the radio in my car. I don't have the luxury of listening to the radio because I need to grow so much so I can be worthy of making 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900,000, $1 million a year. That's the way you got to think. You don't have that luxury. And I didn't have that luxury either. And just like right now, I don't have the luxury of listening to the radio because I'm working on making $500,000 a year. I'm working on making $1 million a year. I don't have that luxury. You know, and if you want to grow, you don't have that luxury either. You know, you got to read books. What kind of books would I start out with if I was starting over? What are some of the most influential books? And I think one of them for me was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. You got to learn your people skills. You know, some of you guys think you have great people skills. Great. Work on them some more. Some of you guys think you don't have great people skills. Great. Work on them some more. What's some other books that you should read? I think The Secret of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Man, just working on the way your brain thinks about success. I think that's so important. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. You know, read that a few times. Try to internalize that. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. You know, you've got to always be thinking positive. You don't have a room in your head for negativity, right? There's some Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad. You got to think how business owners think versus how employees think. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki as well. Thinking about how businesses work. You know, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Knowing that eventually when you become a business owner, you can't be doing all the work. You've got to delegate. You've got to get other people to work. That's a really important book, The E-Myth, right? There's just so many. And you go to the business section of Barnes & Noble or wherever, and you'll see a bunch of books that are important for you to read. You know, and so start reading some of those books. I was told 10 pages a day keeps poverty away. 10 little pages a day. Self-improve. It's so important. You know, you've got to be thinking the right way. You've got to put the right things in your brain in order to really start having the success you want to have. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, one of the best books out there. You know, Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. Great book, you know. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Great book. So many great books. And you've got to start reading some of them and internalize them. Don't just have this goal of reading 1,000 books. Have a goal of internalizing them. Have a goal of really understanding them. Have a goal of taking that chapter and really digesting it. And most importantly, the books on leadership. Any book by John Maxwell on leadership, you've got to start reading those books. You've got to become a leader. Self-improve. You've got to self-improve. And self-improvement goes with it happens by the books that you're reading. Okay, it happens by, and by the way, if you're kind of like me, the audiobooks just work it out wonderful. Okay, so download the audiobooks, get the audiobooks instead of the books if you want. Okay, self-improvement also comes from the audios that you listen to. Okay, and that's maybe the different audios that our company puts out, or the different audios that we have available for you, right? The CDs that we have available for you. And self-improvement comes by the people you associate with, okay, and the people that you're hanging around with. And so if you're constantly hanging around with chickens and you're an eagle, you're going to start acting like a chicken. If you hang around with turkeys and you're an eagle, you're going to start acting like a turkey. And so you've got to start hanging around with people that have goals and dreams and they want something in their life, and you've got to self-improve. Always be self-improving.